Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the January 3rd, 2024 San Dimas Rotary meeting. Still trying to get used to saying 2024. I'm sure I'll write 2023 on a few things between now and the next couple weeks. My name is Steve Scott. I am the San Dimas Rotary Club president. I've been a Rotarian now for about 14 years, in the midway point of my presidential term, and I guess I have another 12 months after that. Let's go around the room and introduce everybody. Raymond Foster, how are you today, sir?
Excellent. Raymond Foster, immediate past president and president of the current San Dimas Rotary Foundation. I'm glad to be here, Steve. Also, your Zoom
Glad you're here. Margarita, how's everything?
Everything is going okay. Margarita McGee, an attorney out in San Dimas, local attorney.
Thanks for being here. Casey, how are you?
There we go. Unmute. I'm doing good. I'm a little better than Rita because she's okay. I'm good, but not amazing, but better than Rita. So Rita, we got to work on that. All is well. Life coach, health coach, coming alongside people to see life improve and be amazing. So I'm going after amazing and living in my best life. Past president and connected as Rotary for about a decade.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here, Casey.
I'm here for Kristina. You dragged me in, Kristina. Well done.
And Mary Ann, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How is everybody else?
Fantastic.
Mary Ann Kistler. I've been in Rotary over 30 years. I'm the current foundation chair, and I love Rotary.
Excellent. And Mike Wallace, how's everything, sir?
Yes, excellent. Happy New Year, everybody. Mike Wallace, Better Home Financial. Been a Rotarian coming up, geez, I don't even know, 9 years. So yeah, doing great. I'm actually out here previewing a property in Rancho Cucamonga, but always happy to be here serving the community.
And we are glad you're here, Mike. Hey, Chris Constantine, how's everything going, sir?
It's going well. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm the city manager for the city of San Dimas. It's tough to make these kind of meetings with double books, but today you're in luck. I'm here for at least 30 minutes.
Well, we're happy you're here. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Really appreciate it. And Anthony Porter, how is everything, sir?
Everything is good. Retiring for about a year with Satellite Rotary, current president, Laverne San Dimas Educational Foundation. Happy to see everybody.
Glad you're here, Anthony. Thanks very much. Well, let's move on to the most important part of the meeting, the reason that everybody is here, and that is for our guest speaker, Kristina Stover. Kristina is the Director of Career and Global Engagement at Life Pacific University, serving students through career development, internships, job placement, outreach, and ministry training. She is passionate about using her unique skill set to be a bridge for others towards transformation. She loves seeing students resourced and equipped to do well in the workforce. She and her husband are both LPU alum and have 3 kids, Jaden, Jackson, and Sophia. Love that spelling of Jackson. That's awesome. Kristina, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you all so much. I am constantly just impressed by the Rotary and your impact in the community, and myself personally, and also Life Pacific. We're so honored to be in the city of San Dimas and to serve in this community. Part of my role, as you may have heard, is outreach. And so I do a lot of different types of things, but it's an honor to get to serve in the city of San Dimas. One of the most recent ones was the holiday extravaganza. We got to be a part of that, and that was really fun. And so we love being able to partner with the city and serve in this way. And again, I'm honored to be here and to be able to serve and honestly speak a little bit about what's coming up. So a little bit about LPU. We are an incredible university here in the city of San Dimas, offering an incredible education, cost-effective, WASC accredited. And so we are honored to be able to serve this city and beyond. If there's anybody that is looking for an institution to earn their degree, send them our way. We would love to be able to chat. For today, I wanted to share a little bit. I know that Raymond has shared already information with each of you about this Compassion First walk that is coming April 6th, 2024. Grateful to you, Raymond, for getting that information out. There's a lot of detailed information, but today just wanted to highlight some things. And one of the things first that I wanted to share is that, you know, this organization, Compassion First, truly is aligned with our values here at LPU. And so that's one of the main reasons why we wanted to partner with them. We love the impact that they're making in helping survivors of sex trafficking. And so we wanted to think of and kind of dream up a way that we could partner with them and support what the work that they're doing. And they had already done a 5K lantern walk, and that seemed like such an incredible way for us to link arms with them. So we decided to plan for a walk, and this was last year. We wanted to do it last year, and just given circumstances and timing, it was our centennial year. We've been around, LPU's been around for 100 years, and so we've closed that year out, and looking to 2024 now, we were like, okay, this might be a better time, and so we're excited to be able to do this. Again, the details are April 6th, 2024 at 7 p.m. But Compassion First is a Christian relief and development organization that provides end-to-end care for, you know, those that are rescued or at risk of sex trafficking and exploitation in Indonesia. And so the work they do is incredible. They actually serve these many times it's kids and teens. They serve them in 4 ways: personalized trauma-informed care. And so they provide individualized care. They want to build resilience for those survivors to be able to overcome that trauma through education, medical care, counseling, life skills training. That's something that, you know, we love too here at LPU is in general. And so also partnering with them for this specific need across the world, we're all for it. Another thing is legal advocacy. So when the girls in their care are asked to testify against their trafficker, you know, that's a challenging, really vulnerable situation already. They provide additional support there with a legal team and a staff advocate for them. So when they're in the courtroom, they have support and ideally someone who can kind of help walk them through that so that there's no additional trauma. Another thing is strategic collaboration with law enforcement. So they collaborate with local law enforcement, providing funding for legal rescues and case management for the police, families, rescued girls. And a lot of this too that we love about Compassion First is that they have prevention care. So they are in the communities, helping provide educational opportunities, many of which, you know, like the women and children, you know, helping the women understand the skills that they have, help them develop that so that they're able to bring in an income and not be forced into a situation where they would want to traffic their kids. Because unfortunately that is a reality at times. And so they want to be able to support the family as a whole and help the moms, the kids, the families be able to have opportunities. And so they do that through community classes, educational sponsorships, entrepreneurial opportunities, and beyond. And so great organization. We're honored to be able to partner with them, honored to be able to share about them with you as well and with our city. And so kind of shifting on to talk about the Lantern Walk itself, this 5K is going to raise awareness and support for the survivors of sex trafficking. And so this walk takes place at sunset. It's kind of a unique thing. We're excited about that. We want to kind of catch people's eye. Each participant will carry a lit lantern. It's not going to be actual fire. It will be an LED light, little lantern, but it's going to represent the world of advocates lighting the way for survivors. We want them to embrace their future, pursue their dreams, be able to go beyond what they ever thought for themselves, and help them to understand and know that they are valued and each one of them matters and are seen. And so, you know, why a lantern walk? Throughout history, lanterns have represented freedom, safety, hope. For Compassion First itself, it represents a commitment to all that we can do to help them have freedom or hope, and hope. And so the lantern reminds us that the task is not impossible. It's not in vain. Each girl is worth our effort. And so we're honored to be able to do this. And so it's kind of cool. We're going to be, we have a route mapped out. It's going to begin at LPU and end at LPU. We will do a couple, I think 2 laps around the sportsplex, and we do have permission for that. We have a few final loose ends that are going to be tied up just because of the timing of, Christmas break and coming back after the new year. And so we're tying all that up, but we're honored to have that approval and move forward with the city as well. And so, again, it's going to be Saturday, April 6th, 2024, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Sunset is at 7:16 from what I understand. And so that's why the timing is there. We want to start before sunset and as the sun is going down, so that we want our runners to be safe as well. And so, but each will have, lanterns, they can run or walk. We will have a signage that will go around the route that creates that awareness, and make sure that we're all approved, of course, with the city for that. But the price for community members is $30 leading up to March 1st. It'll go up $5 after that. And for any LPU students or faculty, it'll be $20. And so we're hoping that our community here at LPU will help and volunteer, participate, but that also our community members here in San Dimas and beyond would love to be a part of this. One thing that I was thinking of too is, many people are already participating in 5Ks. They use it for training, or they just want to be a part of it. And so why not have it be something that has a broader purpose? And so we're honored. We would love to have you be a part of this. And so, are there any questions at this time?
Right, I missed, what time does it start?
It starts at 7.
7.
Yeah.
And is there a sign up link that we could find and share?
Yes, absolutely. I can drop it in the chat. But I know that Raymond has it as well. He sent it out in the agenda, but I will do that for you right now.
Kristina, are you guys hoping to run like teams? I know like with the Relay for Life, a lot of where they get a bigger boost is where the teams raise money and they kind of walk as a team. I don't know if you guys have thought about that. Are you guys doing that, or?
We don't have that planned for now, but I'm not opposed to that at all. This is our first 5K that we've been a part of. And I was actually looking at the 5Ks that have been run in the city of San Dimas before and gleaning information. And so, yes, this is probably something you guys have been familiar with. And so any ideas I'm open to.
We can talk offline. I can follow up with you, but what I've seen be very effective, both in for nonprofit charity organizations to partner with other charities, is to get their group. So if we had a Rotary team that we were raising money as the Rotary, that they would walk in the name of the Rotary for this event. It helps build that bonding for more people to raise money around the cause, because they align with their affiliation. So all of the churches that are a part of LPU could then be doing it as local churches rather than trying to reach out to individuals.
Yep, I love that.
And so that's a huge shift in how you market it, and you got to get one person who says, I'll be the point person for that organization. So,
Great.
I think it's good. I think that'll help. If you haven't seen the movie Sound of Freedom, another idea and suggestion is that I would love to see LPU hosting Sound of Freedom watch nights. What would it look like to sell tickets and then have advocacy in some of those other organizations, even the one you guys are supporting? But I know there's a lot of local groups that are in the area that could come in and set up a booth. So you watch the movie, have the booths, and you guys, I would sell tickets for it. It's like going to see a movie, and it'd be a good precursor to really raise the awareness for the event, but the cause as well.
Yeah.
That would be another good way to crank some engine there. And then Rotary, we get to decide, do we care not just about the cause? I hope everybody can care about the cause, but is this something we want to maybe take something on and do something about? So
Love that. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Casey. Kristina, are you seeking and or accepting sponsorship for this event?
Yes, it's again, since this is the first time, we have not been super pursuant of asking for that, but I've seen that in the previous 5Ks before, and we would love to be able to look at opportunities. I think that I don't know that we put a package together. I don't think it was at that point, you know, but we would be able to, on a case by case, put something together.
Okay. All right. If you do happen to kind of go down that road a little further and want to forward that information to Raymond or Casey, that would be awesome.
Okay. I will.
Does anybody have any other questions?
I do. Kristina, a couple of things. First off, can you give us like a thumbnail sketch of this, I just find this a fascinating thing, global engagement, career and global engagement, that your job. That's like they've given you the world to work with, and I wondered what you were doing with it.
I know. Yes. Okay. So, you know, with higher education, and sometimes in smaller institutions like ours, we wear many hats. I know institutions run into that as well. But for me, I do have several, I call them buckets, that I care for, that I resource. And so I made the shift, we made the shift in July to move our global life office, is what it was called, from academics to the staff, to the more administrative side of things. And I took on the responsibility then to kind of form our global engagement for LPU to where we're at right now. And so I serve our students in helping connect them to global causes. One of those things that we do is we run short-term missions trips, and we're going to Romania, and we're also going to El Salvador this year. And so those are, you know, that's one way that we serve. We partner with local missionaries, those that are already doing the work. We don't want to come in and do our own thing. We want to come and partner with what's already happening. And so we send teams out doing that. Another thing is, if there is global outreach or opportunities for us to partner in ways like this, that can be tangible ways here to impact globally, we want to say yes to that. And so that's part of the heart of us partnering with Compassion First, is that they are a global cause. Their work is in Indonesia, but their home base is in the United States. So that is great. And then, you know, as best as we can, on a case by case, also helping our students, those that feel called to the mission field or feel called to serve globally in different ways. We want to do our best to help, though we don't have a specific degree that wraps around that. We want to make sure we can get them the network that they need to be able to take future next steps in that way. So kind of under that covering and umbrella as well is the outreach stuff that I do. I like to think of it local, in the sense of our city. How are we serving our city? How are we serving our, you know, the broader scope? So our, you know, our state or our country, and then how are we serving the world? And so we want to have our eyes in different ways that way, and have our students engage as well.
And the second thing, and before I'll to see if anyone else has a question, one of the things that you and I spoke over the summer was about a Rotary Club. And then I went, as the foundation did its budget for 24, 25, or 23, 24, we put $500 in as a match to any project that the LPU Rotary Club came up with. So so we've already put $500 on the line to match any project if we were to get a Rotary Club cranked over. And I know that they're all throughout universities, and of course Rotary is a global organization. with its own seat at the UN. So it seems like a great match to me here. I just want to keep talking about it because I think something's going to come along where we're going to be able to work together more closely as Rotarians.
Yes, I think so too. I love that. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I'll make sure that I also, once back in the office, connect with our business degree program chairs. I think that would be such a great thing to have linked with that.
Excellent.
Excellent. Any other questions for Kristina?
Kristina, I know you don't need anything else to do, but I will, in the journey I have with LPU, if you pass this off to the business chair, it'll die again. We've had a couple different conversations, and it doesn't fit into the academic concept because they put it around the class calendar. And really what the Roto Act is about is you. It's recognizing a global impact and local service. And so I'm just gonna, since we have you here, I will encourage you to look at partnering with us is basically just like partnering when you need something. Hey, if for a Rotaract club to get started on LPU's campus, what that would mean is we would go back as a club and say, okay, which one of our members is going to be the contact person that's going to show up and lead alongside that club? And they would probably say, Casey, you ought to do it. And I'd probably say, you're right, I'll do it. But what that means is then you become the local contact and I become the local Rotarian. And then we basically reach out to student life and say, are there some students that are in the business major field that recognize that a global impact can be made both through business and on mission? And we're looking for 5 to 6 students that are recognizing that concept more than trying to find a chair in the department that's going to attach it to a semester.
No, I love that. I think that's absolutely great perspective. I think that it needs to be, it needs to be a club that's seated. It will be seated under student life. So yeah. That's awesome.
And Margarita, you have a question? Oh, okay. Casey, just for the record, this meeting is being recorded. It has been noted that you will be heading up the Rotaract Club. So thank you for that. We really appreciate all your work. Do we have any other questions for Kristina?
I have a quick question.
Yeah,
just to go back to what you mentioned. So what will be done, because I'm part Salvadorian and I've never been to El Salvador. I've always love to go, but I just kind of wanted to know what kind of work will be done in El Salvador.
Yeah. So they're going over spring break. It's a shorter, we have our spring break trip, which is like a week. We keep them a little closer so they don't have to deal with jet lag. So that's why they're going during that time. And we partner with, again, the local church, the local missionaries that are there and the work that they're already doing with El Salvador. What they're doing is serving the local churches that are there, the outreach that they're doing. And a lot of that has to do with outreach towards those that have heavy gang influence. And so that's been a challenge there, given its history. And so they will be serving through ministry stuff because it is a missions trip. They'll be like, they'll go into the churches and help with some of the services. They'll even go and walk through the streets and just ask if people need prayer, and see if there's any spiritual needs, but they also meet tangible needs through outreach and helping with just the community, they'll play games, they'll do outreach stuff that's going to serve those that are in those heavily gang influenced areas.
Okay, thank you. If there's any kind of things needed, I would love to kind of get more information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kristina, thank you so much for taking time today. Thank you for being involved in such an important project. And I'm going to speak for the club and say we're looking forward to figuring out how we can best involve ourselves in this. So thanks for your time. Really, really do appreciate it and appreciate the relationship that we forged with LPU. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Anytime. Okay. Let's move on to the next part of our meeting, which is our fine master. Casey, take it away.
All right, so the first fine is for anybody that has seen Sound of Freedom but didn't speak up on this. So this is a self-admission, and if you saw the Sound of Freedom and didn't give an acknowledgement to what LPU is doing and you sat quietly, you've been fined double whatever the ticket price is for Kristina when she does her movie night. Anybody that wants to take ownership of this fine, you're welcome to take ownership, and then you will be going to see the movie and taking somebody with you. Anybody want to take that fine on? Just an opportunity. Other than that, we find ourselves to talk. We find ourselves because life is fine and we want to talk about it. We find ourselves because life isn't fine and we want to talk about it. So this is your time. Find yourself at will. But I do encourage all of you to see the Sound of Freedom and connect it to what Kristina's talking about. It will motivate you to get out and walk a 5K. Who would like to find themselves?
I'm going to go. I will find myself $10 because my New Year's resolution of not being so stressed out about everything lasted a day and a half. So didn't make it quite as far as I was hoping to. So that's worth $10.
Well done, Steve. And we just all applaud you for a day and a half. That's 24 hours longer than I probably would have expected it. So congratulations.
Accurate.
You're making good headway, my friend. Somebody else,
Start
what
right
is
back at
fine
it
or what's
tomorrow.
not fine?
So I'm gonna
Anybody
go for
else want?
$25 here. My oldest grandson's birthday was December 17th. He's 25 years old, and he is now engaged to be married 5 days later. So boy, that's nothing like making you want to get stressed out, Steve. Your grandchildren start to get married. That's pretty stressful. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, that would. I got to call my therapist now. Anybody else?
Yeah, this is Mike. I'm going to find myself $24 for the Happy New Year coming into 2024, and what I see as a significantly more positive outlook in the real estate and mortgage market going into this year.
All right.
Fantastic.
Amen to that.
Good to hear. Yeah. Anybody else?
I'll find myself, Steve. I'll find myself $10. And while I did see the movie, I think it became so controversial and political that showing this movie at this walk may turn people away. And it's a great movie, but I just don't know if it'd be a good thing. You know what I mean? Because, two different spectrums, and that's why I didn't speak up. I don't think it's a good idea, Casey.
Sure.
I will own that, Rita, and I actually didn't see the movie. I'm finding myself to talk about the movie. I didn't go see the movie because it was so hyped and there was so much, you got to do this. And so we watched it when it came out on Netflix. So I didn't buy into all of the stuff that was happening around it as if going to see the movie was doing something to stop sex trafficking. I think a lot of people went and said, oh, I'm going to go see the movie because I want to see it impacted. I do think watching it later had far more ability to actually watch the movie and not get caught up in all the hype that was going on. That's why I bring it up as a movie night, not a part of the event, but a precursor to the event for raising awareness in a non-charged environment where people are just really learning, like, okay, how do you really do something? Yes. So I judge myself, find myself for quickly advocating for something without hearing Rita's point of view. That's worth at least $10, and another $10 for my interest for not paying my dues last year.
No, I just think that it turned so ugly, and there was so much negativity around the movie that it took away from the point. So, just something to consider.
Great insight.
Excellent. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'll find myself $10. One, I did not watch the movie because I think, like what Casey just said, there was so much hype that I didn't want to watch it in a theater. And I still haven't seen it. And this just kind of reminded me that, oh my gosh, I never saw that movie. I need to watch it. So definitely will make it a point to watch it. And just so, I mean, I'm sure everyone's aware, but like if you go to like Pomona, you see it on the streets. There's these women out there all the time, and you feel for them. 'Cause you see them walking the streets, and you don't know whether they're there by choice, and most likely not. So it's there, and it's in our backyards. It's not, Pomona's 10 minutes away. But on another note, my feel good part of it is my sister came down from Wisconsin to surprise my mom for Christmas break, and my mom was so surprised that she cried, like sobbed happy tears, and then turned around and yelled at me for not telling her because she wasn't ready for guests at her house. So that was my couple minutes.
Excellent. Thank you, Diva. By the way, I got your email. I'm checking with Barb. FYI.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Any other finds before we move on to our Action 360? All right. Moving on, Action 360, TLC. As a reminder, we sent 3 students to the Teen Leadership Camp. Our get together with the students and their parents is this evening, 5 o'clock at Elba Design Center. Food and drink will be supplied. If you haven't been to this before, I really recommend you go. It's so cool to see the energy that the kids come back with. Going to an event like this where they while they know 2 other classmates, they're oftentimes separated from them for a majority of the trip, and they make new friends, and they have incredible experiences and get to listen to great speakers. And so tonight will be a lot of fun. So very much hoping everybody can be there. I am picking up pizza. Mike is bringing drinks. Raymond is bringing paper plates and whatnot. So hoping everybody can be there. Raymond, you have anything to add to that? Okay. Moving on, Ryla. We have submitted payment and our intent to participate form for Ryla. I don't know that we have actual dates for Ryla yet. But the way TLC went, I'm not surprised by that, but we should get those, I imagine, in the next, hopefully 3 to 4 weeks, so we can kind of get the ball rolling on getting some high school students from our Interact Club or from SHAP, or ideally from both.
And just to put it on the recorder, and since Kristina is still here, TLC is for 8th graders, so we send kids from Lone Hill. Ryla is for juniors or seniors. Usually they aim for juniors. We send them either from San Dimas High or Chaparral. If we had a Rotary club, those students would be on the list or available to actually serve at these camps. So they're always looking for volunteers to help lead the youth in these camp settings. And so it's all volunteer based, and they draw on Rotary clubs and our Rotary club to fulfill who are the leaders in these camps. So another place where service becomes an opportunity for them to get outside of their bubble and go serve alongside people that they'd never imagined they could impact their lives.
Thank you, Casey. Moving on, teacher mini grants. This was an unprecedented year, not in the amount of applications that we received, but in the fact that the committee unanimously chose the same top 4. So that made it really simple. We have 4 mini grant recipients, $500 each. I will be notifying the teachers next Monday when they return to school. An experience sending them an email now is wasting time because they're not checking until they get back from break. So I'll reach out to them next week. And I believe the 17th, is that the date we have scheduled for the teacher mini grant presentation?
We do not. We have the 17th of January, we have a regular Rotary meeting. We hadn't really got that dialed in.
I guess we should dial that in
Yeah.
at some point. Not that we need to do it today.
Sure. Yeah. We gotta have a location of how we're gonna do it. We
Right.
gotta figure that whole thing out.
Okay. All right. We should discuss that further. Moving on to the last subject in our Action 360, feeding heroes. Raymond.
So the food drive is cranked over. This year it's changing quite a bit. As you note, you see, it says feeding military heroes. The flyers changed. We will be servicing 2 food pantries on 2 separate military bases. Just for the recording, 22,000 active duty families, 213,000 reservists, and 1.2 million veterans suffer from food insecurity. Most major military installations have food pantries. We've adopted 29 palms, and so far we've sent 13 tons out there, and over the last 2 years. So now we're going to expand it to include Camp Pendleton. So we'll be feeding the Pelican Pantry on 29 Palms and the Pendleton Pantry. The hope is to get 5 to 6 tons out to 29 Palms and a half to 3/4 down to Pendleton, just as our first test case. And then in September, we'll be hopefully expanding again to include Fort Irwin. So we'll have Navy, Marine Corps, and at that point, Army and Air Force personnel that we're servicing. So there's the date, March 9th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The committee meetings are up on DACDB as well as on our website. If you want to participate in this, these letters will be going out about this next week. We'll be sending out about 1,000 letters. We've already got our first donation of $50, and that was from Tampa, Florida. So the reach on this project is huge. And if anybody would like to participate, we always love the help.
Excellent. Thank you, Raymond. Let's move on to the calendar.
We have a bunch of great programs coming up. Next program is going to be Kevin O'Leary on the fabric of democracy. He is he's a former reporter, but he's a PhD down at the University of Irvine, who's in charge of their international studies program. And he's a Rotarian, and he takes the 4-way test and he uses it as a means to examine the fabric of democracy around the world. He's written a book on that. He's a really interesting guy. He's another one of these speakers that I'm like, I don't know why he's coming to our little small club, but well, we'll have him because he's a great speaker. That evening is Brad Peterson. He's the #2 guy in the California Military Department on CalVet loans. He knows everything there is to know about CalVet loans. I didn't know the things on how they're assumable. I didn't know that they weren't just for housing. If you know a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or even a veteran, this guy is an excellent source. Then on the 7th, Michael Lynn and Hero's Journey. These two are basically leadership coaching. The 21st, Road Success. That's the lady who is working in the Middle East, and she's scheduled. And then on the 6th is a lady who works with Ukrainian children. She goes back and forth between there and Ukraine. That should be very interesting. And we have now popping up in April meetings, Rotary Means Business. And this is a Rotary Fellowship that acts as basically a business referral network for Rotarians. So it should be pretty interesting. And that's the topics. If you have something you'd like to see in either the regular Rotary Club or the Satellite Club, let me know, and I will certainly try to calendar a speaker.
Perfect. Thanks, Raymond. And next Wednesday is our board meeting. We did not have one in December, so I'm sure we'll have some things to discuss and attack and go from there. Before we leave, some people showed up after we did the introductions. Sylvia, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. My name is Sylvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce. Nice to see everybody.
Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I think Diva may have jumped off. Yep, she did. Okay, lastly, let's talk about the 4-way test. Mike Wallace, are you able to see the 4-way test from your car?
Not really, but that's okay. So
that was the answer I was looking for.
So the 4-way test is a test developed by Rotarians. It's an ethical test, moral test of everything we think, say, and do. And it goes, sorry, parking. Sorry, I got
is it the truth?
Cars backing up around me. Is it the truth?
As your insurance agent, why don't you let me do this and you can focus on parking? I would feel terrible if I caused an accident.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And like Mike so aptly analogizes, If you think of these 4 questions, or this 4-way test as a 4-way stop, if you answer 2 or 3 of the questions properly, but you know one of the answers is no, it's probably not the right thing to do. But if the question you're asking, all 4 of these answers is yes, it's a good thing. Good thing to look at in business, good thing to look at in friendship and family. It's really something that if you just utilize the 4-way test and decisions, tough decisions that you are making in your life will benefit you. Okay, folks, that is about it for today. Again, tonight, Elba Design Center, 900 Amelia, Casey? Or 910.
It's 9:10.
910 Amelia, 5
Yep.
o'clock. Great students, pizza, soda. We'll have a good time. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. And we will see everybody back again next week. Have a great week, everybody.